Shubor Snem Jong Hima.
St. Anthony's Higher Secondary School pen Ursula, Rakhe pen kodno ekicintap arusan Snem Jongka hakbakar gesngi, lawan don ringkat Menteri Ramba Kajila Conrad sangma, hakajinon langru usumbut Menteri Ramba Kajila ubak pestun pensong bat kiwe de. Habakran hakani gesngi Conrad uloong baka sorkar jila Meghalaya kejukersha niki skul shimat, neki bamdei ki skul sorkar, bakin penyar ke Jingshakri haduk ki kerdan Higher Secondary Section. Haba ai kuble ke skul nak bentah kejintap arusan Snem, ula ai ke Ïaroh ke skul namar ke IT Jongka ban pensan penrangba yaki kena skul hak buli puthi bat hak akor ke buram. Menteri rangba ula ongru bahkan ke sengi ban Rakhe dap arusan Snem Jongka Higher Secondary, ke longru ke Rakhe ke temu kenjo new post Snem ke skul ke LP section hak ke skul. Conrad haba ai jingkran hak ke sengi ula ong baka sorkar ke lamang khatsan pesan nak platingka ban penlut hak buli puthi ke balong lai hajar hendus pa san pusau keluar tingka. Bat ong bah Meghalaya kidon hadu khatsau hajar tadi ki skul, bat kidon sanpusan hajar ngut kino hikai, bat ke sorkar ke penut si hajar keluar tingka man ke Snem, nak benta ki skul shimet ad hoc bat deficit ulo ong. Ula penpau ke jing sengo sarong ru baka jela ke lanang kiyo hak liang ke puli puthi, wat la kidon ki jing ki bakindo hapdeng ke jing pas paha bat ke jing bom pas paha ki kena. Ula ong ru banak benta ban kersha ni ki skul shimet, ke sorkar kan sayarap pisa, kebanlong san pholak tingka hadu shiklur tingka yiki skul bala syajiat ban kentio syaka Higher Secondary Section dak bapentikna baga St. Anthony's Higher Secondary School pen Ursula kanlong ke skul baningkong ban yo yakani ke Chingyarap.
Now we will have the school anthem.
It is our system. We are school and it's early years.
If you want your returns in 10 years, plant trees that bear fruits. You get plants, you get trees, and you get your return in 10 years. But if you want your returns for eternity and forever, plant people. Grow people. Because once you invest in people, when you plant people, when you grow people, your returns will be forever and ever and for generations to come. And this is really the foundation of what education is about. For us, as a government, we spend 15% of our budget on education. 3,654 crores, the highest on any department, is spent today on education. We have 55,000 teachers teaching in our state. We have 14,000 schools that are run by government and by private schools. About 7,800 plus are government and the rest are different private schools and SSA schools and other schools and semi-government schools. And out of this, close to 1,000 crores is spent from the government side to private institutes in terms of grants that we give them ad hoc and deficit. 1,000 crores every year is paid as grant in aid to private schools in the form of ad hoc and deficit grants. And we, as mentioned many times before, are the only state in the northeast at least that supports private schools the way we do. All the other northeast schools either have no private school being supported in grant in aid, no ad hoc, no deficit grant, or even if they have, it's less than 100 schools. But Meghalaya supports close to 4,000 plus, almost 5,000 schools, which are private, but we spend 1,000 crores of our budget paying salaries and giving grant in aid to these teachers. And we're proud of it. And we are happy to see that because of this investment has evolved and today is serving the people of our state. Yet, we face challenges. Yet, we have low pass percentage. Yet, we have high dropout rates. Yet, the quality of our education is not at the level that we would want it. Now, these are areas we desire to change. We're working towards them, but they're not something that we can do immediately or within a few years' time. These are inherent systematic problems we face, multiple layers of schools. Just to share an example of what problems we face, because of the multiple schools we have, that you will have one area which has got the LP school run by the state government, but the upper primary is run by the SSA, and then the secondary is run by ad hoc, and after that the higher secondary is run by deficit, and that too by different managing committees. Now these structures are there, and we would want to change this in one go and put all of them under one managing committee so that the transition for the students is easier. But obviously there are challenges in it. And hence these kind of problems cannot be resolved in 1 year, 2 years, or even 5 years. Because these have many reactions. Teachers, their livelihoods, and other aspects of politics also are involved. And hence we have to transform and transition into a phase where we are able to bring these schools into a more uniform structure, which takes time. But this is exactly what our Honorable Deputy CM was telling you we are working towards, and I'm hopeful that once and for all, we will be able to create a proper system and a structure for most of the granted aid schools, especially our ad hoc schools, and also the SSA schools, which are semi-government, means it is a central plus state. So it is government, but state is paying 10% of it, 90% comes from center. So we are hoping that within the next few weeks, maybe a month, we should be able to come out with a very, very good structure, so that once and for all, we are able to resolve the problem of ad hoc teachers and the SSA teachers, and we don't have any issue, and there's a structured and a systematic way in which we move forward. So this is something that we are very keen, and I'm very hopeful that the seeds that we will sow today, the foundations that we will lay today, to bring that change and transformation in the education sector, will bear fruits in the years to come. As I said, it's a structural issue which requires time for transition. It cannot be simply changed just because we want to change them. A lot of complications and layers are there. But what we're doing today, as I said, I hope we'll be able to lay that structure. So I'm hopeful that all the investments we're making in education slowly are showing results. But we have many, many challenges ahead. And for that, as a society, as schools, as stakeholders, we all must all do our part to bring that change and to be that change that we would like to see in the education sector. I also would like to share with you, especially to our parents and especially to our teachers. I was listening to the words of the past person who spoke before me, mentioning about the teachers sometimes being strict. And I remember we went through the same thing. But I'm sure that the teachers must have done it for your good, for our good, for the discipline that they felt that we needed. It was a different world at that point in time, but those were the ways in which the discipline was brought in. But in today's world, I do want to share this with you and, in a way, compliment what our past people have mentioned. And there's one message that I would like to give to the parents and the teachers especially. You play a very, very important role in a child's life. And I've always seen, especially in our society, tribal society and to some extent in the Indian society also, that we do tend to sometimes undermine our own children in front of them or in front of others. And I think this is something that is there as a part of our culture in one way. We don't intend to undermine, it's just that we don't want to show too much and talk too big about our child. We try to be humble. But sometimes in the process of being humble, we sometimes end up undermining the child, saying that, no, my child is okay, he's not very smart. So we try to talk like that. My message to you is that once you, as a parent, and once you as a teacher, make that statement, then that is the limit to which the child will grow. He doesn't have any more image or any more desire to move beyond that, because you've already set him or her, where he or she is. And you set that standard for him. But one word from you to motivate the child, saying that, you know what, you can do much more than what you think you are. You are a person who I think can become a very successful person in life. There's so much in you. These words not just inspire, and these are not words that will flatter the kid, but it will raise that bar and that image and inspire him or her to achieve that image that you have created of him or her with that one statement you made. I urge the teachers and parents, play that role of being an inspirer, play that role of being a motivator, play that role of setting that standard for your child which you would like to see in him or in her. Last but not the least, I want to tell Father Lucas that he has broken a very, very big tradition. I must say this. Very big tradition has been broken. They used to tell me, they have given us a cup of tea. I think they may ask for something small. But then if they give a large lunch with a lot of dishes, you can expect a very big memorandum. So today, before the lunch only I got a memorandum. So that tradition has been broken. So I must complain. And I'll formally mention this to even Archbishop and to the Rector General of the Salesians also, that this tradition has been broken. But I'm sure that Father Lucas will definitely make up for this. But I want to share my last story before I conclude. And this again, not to flatter, not to, give any kind of wrong messaging out here. I will take it in a very light way. Is that I have always seen that the kind of return in investment that is done at the level of our missions, the church-based organizations, the different congregations, I don't think we'll see the return on investment in any other sector. By that I also mean in terms of schemes. I remember once I went to Hima. This was a long time back, maybe 15, 20 years back. My late father was a member of parliament. I think he had given 5 lakh rupees or something for this scheme. And we had gone to inaugurate the building. So when we went to inaugurate the building, there were 7 or 8 rooms in the ground floor, and there was a second floor, 7 and 8 rooms. And my father was shocked. He said, how do you make this in 5 lakhs? And father said, I remember father's name, Father Joy. Father Joy said, no, nothing. He's from Kerala. He said, nothing. I told the villagers, so they came and they gave the labor, they had manpower. Then I told them to make the bricks and give the bricks also to me. Then the sand also you pick up and bring the sand. Then I asked somebody else to give this donation, that donation, and with the rest of the money you give 5 lakhs, you build 2 floors and 7, and there's 14 rooms, classrooms was built with 5 lakh rupees. The reason I'm telling you the story is, this is the commitment with which the church today works. This is a commitment with which the honesty, the sincerity, the transparency with which the church today works and contributes to society. The difference that it's making, every paisa, every rupee that is given, the returns are unimaginable. And hence I'm so happy to share and to tell you 2 things. Number 1, that from my Chief Minister's Special Development Fund, I will be giving a sum of 35 lakhs for the building from the Chief Minister's Special Development Fund. Second, we realize that the need for higher secondary schools is more because of the pass percentage in the secondary schools. And hence we are coming up with a program which is in the final stage of drafting guidelines, where private schools, that means not government schools, private schools, which could be government aided, based on their performance, based on geographical, issues, the fact that they are very, interior locations, and other factors, the government intends to support, depending on funds of course, anything between 50 to 100 schools every year to extend their classrooms in higher secondary school. So we are almost at the final stage of drafting the guidelines. We should be able to announce the schools which will be getting this also very soon. And we are looking at a fund of anything between 50 lakhs to 1 crore, again, depending on the budget. But roughly that amount we intend to give to the schools so that they can expand the buildings and create more classrooms. Let me assure Father Lucas and the managing committee and the people of the area that this school will be included in that list also. So we will give funds from that scheme also because of the kind of work that you are doing, the difference that you make in the society, and the selflessness, the sacrifice and the commitment with which you have been working for the past decades to bring a difference into the lives of the young students and the people living in this area. So with these few words, I once again would like to wish all the past pupils, all the past headmistresses, headmasters, principals, all the past members of the managing committee, all the past teachers and the non-teaching staff, and everybody who has contributed today to make and to bring the school to where it is today. Most importantly, I would like to thank God for having sent His messenger here to bring the good word of Christ and also to bring in the education and the transformation into the lives of the people living in this area. May God bless St. Anthony's Higher Secondary School. May God bless each and every one of us present out here. And may God bless our beautiful state of Meghalaya. Bless you, Mathera and Jong.